Hey everyone, it is Alicia Chamberlain, and today we are on day 4 of meal planning. So just a really quick recap. In step 1, we organized all of our servings of our different food groups, or our containers if you use the container system. On day 2, we did our dinners. We planned out our dinners and talked about a few ways that you can maximize what you are making in your dinners and make that fit your family. In step 3, we organized our lunches and planned out lunches, talked about some quick, easy recipes that you can prepare ahead of time to make lunchtime easier. And now in day 4, we are waking up with breakfast. So why is it so important to plan out our breakfasts? I know that's a meal that a lot of us just leave to chance, and honestly, I am just as bad. If I don't plan it out, then sometimes it doesn't even happen. And that is a real problem because breakfast does 3 really important things for us. 1, it gives our body energy first thing in the morning. You know, you've been at rest all night. Probably the last time you fueled your body or gave your body anything was several hours ago, maybe as many as 12 hours ago. So that breakfast meal gives you that initial burst of energy to get your day started. The second thing that it does is it helps reduce cravings all day long. If you're not giving your body the food, the fuel that it needs, then you're going to have those constant ups and downs, those sugar spikes of your blood sugar. And that's really what causes you to crave things like sugar and those foods that really aren't nutritious for our bodies. So by giving your body a really balanced breakfast, you are preventing some of those cravings. You're giving your body a baseline so that your blood sugar level is stable or more stable all throughout the day. So that's another really important reason to start your day with breakfast. And then the third thing is it just sets the tone for your entire day. So if you have a really balanced breakfast, if you eat the rainbow and start it off with your protein and veggie and maybe a carb and potentially even a fruit, and it's a really healthy, nutritious meal, then you are set up for success throughout the entire day. You started your day on the right track, and it's much easier to stay on track when you start that way. So those are the 3 main reasons that I really encourage you to plan out your breakfasts and to do that strategically and to think about some important components of a healthy breakfast. Now, what should you really try to do for breakfast, timing wise and all of that? Well, the first thing is I suggest eating as close to within an hour of waking as possible. Again, that's just so that you're giving your body that energy, you're waking up your metabolism, you're getting your day started. Also, you need an easily digestible protein. We already talked a little bit about those blood sugar spikes, and that breakfast is a great way to keep that from happening all throughout the day, and protein is one of those defenses that you have against those ups and downs, against feeling really hungry all day long. So give yourself some protein. Eggs are a great option. I even like to do Greek yogurt sometimes. There are lots of different ways that you can get that protein in, but it's really important to start your day that way so that you just feel full and energized all day long. And then the third thing is just keep it balanced. We talked about having a breakfast that sets the tone for your entire day. And remember, we often think about breakfast being a small meal, being something that's maybe not so important. And a lot of us eat larger meals throughout the day. So breakfast is often our smallest, lunch is a little bit bigger, and then dinner is even bigger. We really should flip that on its head. Breakfast should be one of the meals that is the largest in your day, so that you are really giving yourself all of that nutrition packed right at the beginning of your day, and so that you have that fuel to give you energy all day long. But then again, you want to make sure that you're not overloading on carbs or anything like that, because if you load up too much on those types of foods, then you are going to experience more of the high and low. You may end up making yourself feel even more tired in the morning than energized and ready to go. So those are a few of the things that I suggest that you really think about as you're planning out your breakfast. And now we're just gonna dive right into planning together. So I'm gonna flip my screen so that you can see my meal plan. All right, so again, this is our meal plan that we've been working on all week. Just a quick reminder, we already organized all of our containers, and if you're not a container person, then these are just your food groups on the side. Just a quick reminder, red is protein, green are vegetables, purple is your fruit, yellow are carbs, blue are fats, and then orange are things like nuts, seeds, dressing, those type of foods. So one thing as we do plan out our breakfast meals, a lot of us, like I said, if we don't plan ahead, then it's going to be a meal that maybe gets skipped. Yes, you're exactly right, Debbie. You want to eat like a queen or eat like a king at breakfast. I can't remember the rest of that either, but I'll have to look that up. But I think dinner is supposed to be like a popper. So you're eating lots of food at the beginning of the day, and then kind of titrating it back throughout the rest of the day. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're planning really full meals for our breakfast. But even with that, we want them to be things that are easy to grab and go, especially if you are busy in the morning, if you have lots of little people to get ready and lots of schedules to coordinate. So I have kind of a different schedule than most people. Most days I don't have to get out of the house very quickly, so that's nice. But I do want to kind of think about, okay, what does my week look like? What days am I going to have to get out the door as quickly as possible? So Sunday obviously is church. So that's a day that we are on a bit more of a schedule to make sure that we get to church on time. And we even do nursery on some Sundays. So knowing that I have that planned into the schedule on Sunday will make me plan a breakfast for that day that is easier to grab and go, or that is maybe already prepped. Tuesday, I have mops often, or we often do play dates on Tuesdays. So those are kind of the days for me, at least in the upcoming week, that I know that I have a couple of things going on. So I want to make sure those days are really prepped ahead of time, or that I plan out something that's going to be easy just to take with me. So now I'm just going to start with Monday and go along. And breakfasts are pretty flexible too. We talked with our lunches how I typically just pick a couple and use those all week long. You can do breakfast that same exact way. You don't feel like you need a different breakfast for every single day. You can certainly use the same options. So here are a few of our breakfast ideas. Monday is not a super busy day for me. I can honestly put something together for breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and just do eggs with spinach on Monday. Okay, so I know my eggs would be my protein, spinach is going to be my my vegetable, my green, but I also need a purple, which is a fruit, and a yellow, which is a carb. So I'm going to go ahead and do half a banana and oatmeal that day too. All right, so that gives me Mondays. Tuesday is a mops day, so I know that has to be a quick grab and go day. So I'm honestly on Tuesday, I'm gonna do my Shakeology for breakfast that day. And to make sure that I get all of my servings in with that, I'm gonna toss some spinach in there. I'll do some berries, and for my carb, I'm even gonna throw in some oatmeal. And I just put that all in my shake so that I have everything, just dump it into the blender, and it's really easy just to grab and go. Great. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those days aren't going to be super busy for me. So I can essentially have whatever I want for those days. So just for ease, I'm gonna do eggs with spinach again on Wednesday. And again, I'll do banana and oatmeal. All right, so let's change things up on Thursday though. So I'm gonna go back and look at my list. I think I wanna do a yogurt parfait on Thursday. Those are some of my favorite. It almost feels like having a treat for breakfast instead of just a regular breakfast, which is always fun. So in my yogurt parfait, I use Greek yogurt, which would be my red. I will have to come back to my green. I'm obviously gonna have some berries, some of the other fruit that I have on hand to put in my parfait. And then I also, for my yellow, I'll top it with some homemade granola. And I do typically try to stick with homemade granola as much as I can because it doesn't have as much extra stuff in it as some would that you would get at the store. But so I need to make sure that I get an extra veggie in. So I may just move that to my snack for that day. So in this snack, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to write in carrots right now so that I make sure that I get that serving of vegetables in for the day. So you see there, I chose a breakfast that didn't have a green in it, and that maybe wasn't really even the easiest to put a green in, so I just bumped that to another slot in the day. You can definitely do that anytime that you're meal planning, but having your guide, having those containers that you're shooting for during the day makes it easy to say, oh, well, it's not really going to fit very well in this meal, but I'm going to put it into my snack, or I'm going to add an extra serving at lunchtime, however you want to do that. But when we have it pre-planned, it does just make it, at least for me, easier to visually see, oh, well, I didn't fit that in here, but it's going to fit in one of these other slots. And I did go ahead and write that in so that I don't forget it when I go to plan my snacks and the rest of the week. Then Friday and Saturday, let's see, what do I want to do Friday and Saturday? I think I'm going to go ahead and do breakfast burritos Friday and Saturday. And in my breakfast burritos, I just do a combination of just do some eggs. I'll do probably some spinach, maybe some peppers or other things sauteed up in there, and I'll use probably again maybe some taco seasoning, something to give it a little bit of flavor, and then a whole wheat tortilla with that. So with, you know, kind of that rundown, I have egg, which is a protein. I know I'm going to get my veggies. I'm getting my carb, but I need to make sure I add in a fruit there. So one day I'm going to do half a banana, and then another day I'm going to do berries. All right, so that gives us Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday is another day that I need something that is just quick and easy that I can just grab and go. So that's going to be a breakfast Shakeology day for me. And again, I'll do like I did on Tuesday and make sure I use spinach and berries and oatmeal in that. Great. So there I have my week of breakfasts planned out. And so we have a few different options in there, but again, with our breakfasts, we're using a lot of the same ingredients throughout the week. I mentioned on my list one of the quick make ahead options that I like to do are the egg cups. So those are really easy. You can add whatever veggies you want to them. And then the breakfast burritos you can actually make ahead of time too. You could honestly even make them ahead and wrap them in some foil and then stick them in the oven to warm them up in the morning, so that you could just pretty much take it with you and go. But so that gives you an idea of how to plan out your breakfasts. I'm gonna go ahead and back around. So I hope that gave you a better idea of how to plan out your breakfasts. Remember, you want to bulk up on breakfast. Make sure that you're giving yourself lots of fuel for the rest of the day. Don't go light on breakfast. And it's okay to make those easy options, to make them grab and go, so that you aren't tempted to just skip it, so that you make sure that you prioritize this meal. So I hope that was helpful, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.